Hey you, ever feel like you're facing something really, really tough?
Yeah, like maybe a big game coming up, or a challenge that just feels impossible.
Exactly. Well, today we're diving into the incredible story of Jesse Owens. He faced challenges that are honestly hard for most of us to even wrap our heads around.
And specifically, we're looking at his journey leading up to and during the 1936 Olympics.
It's an amazing story. So let's start at the beginning. Jesse Owens, back in the 1920s in Alabama, what was life like for him then?
Right, so picture this. He was a pretty skinny kid, one of 10 children, actually. His family were sharecroppers, which meant life was, well, really poor.
10 kids, wow.
Yeah, and he was often sick as a child. But even then, he loved to run. He was quick.
And running was like a release for him.
Totally. It was more than just exercise. It felt like freedom.
Yeah.
A way to escape the difficulties.
I can imagine. And those first races he ran, I read they were barefoot.
And
Dirt roads.
that's right, barefoot.
Yeah.
That's where that raw speed started to develop. But even as a little kid, he ran into just awful prejudice.
Because he was black.
Exactly. People telling him, you don't belong, seeing signs like no colored allowed, just horrible stuff.
That must have been so crushing. But somehow he didn't let it break him.
No, he had this inner fire, like I'll show him, a real determination even back then.
That determination carried him into school, right? Even though he had to work.
Yeah, he was sweeping floors to help the family out.
Yeah.
But on the track, he shone. His talent was just undeniable.
And that's where Coach Riley comes in.
Charles Riley.
Yeah.
He saw Jesse running and immediately recognized something special. He famously told him, "You're a spark, Jesse."
A spark. I love that.
Yeah, Riley really believed in him. He started coaching him properly after school, pushing him.
But it wasn't like instant success from there, was it? There were setbacks.
Oh, for sure. It wasn't a smooth ride. He tripped in races. He lost sometimes. And sadly, there were always people jeering, saying nasty things like stick to sweeping.
That's rough.
It really is. But Jesse's response, he just trained harder. Intense dedication. We're talking sprinting at dawn, leaping over crates to build explosive power. Just relentless work.
And that work paid off in high school.
Big time. He became incredibly fast. He ran the 100-yard dash in 9.4 seconds.
Yeah.
Which was, astonishing, basically matching the world record at the time.
Yeah, so that speed took him to college, Ohio State.
Yep. Oh, it's a university. A huge step up.
Yeah.
But even there, even as a star athlete,
Yeah.
the racism didn't stop.
Seriously, even in college.
Sadly, yes. Segregation was still a harsh reality. He couldn't always eat with his white teammates or stay in the same hotels when they traveled for meets.
That's just wrong. How did he cope with that?
He stayed focused, incredibly focused on his running, on his goals. He knew his family was counting on him, pinning their hopes on him. That kept him going.
Which brings us to 1936, the Berlin Olympics.
Right, the big stage. Imagine the scene. This enormous stadium, over 100,000 people watching.
And this is Nazi Germany.
Exactly. The atmosphere was thick with Nazi ideology, this hateful idea of a master race. Swastika flags everywhere.
And here comes Jesse Owens, a black American athlete. They literally called athletes like him lesser beings or auxiliaries.
Yeah, the propaganda was vile. So think about the pressure on Jesse. He's not just competing. He's representing his country in this incredibly hostile environment, facing down this racist ideology in front of the world. The weight on his shoulders must have been immense.
Unbelievable pressure. Okay, so his first event, the 100 meters.
The track was apparently a bit wet, too, from rain. Not ideal. But when that gun fired, Jesse just exploded off the blocks.
All that training, all that focus.
All of it. His legs were just a blur. He flew past everyone, crossed the line. Gold medal.
Yes. What was the reaction?
At first, apparently, a sort of stunned silence from the largely German crowd. Then this kind of shocked roar. He'd done it. Smashed their theories right there on the track.
An amazing moment. But the drama wasn't over, right? The long jump was next, and that got really tense.
Oh, incredibly tense. Jesse fouled on his first jump. Then he fouled on his second jump.
Oh, no. So one more chance.
One single chance left. If he fouled again or didn't jump far enough to qualify for the finals, he was out. Done.
Man, the pressure. All those years, his family's hopes, the whole world watching.
Yeah.
All on this one jump.
It was absolutely make or break.
Yeah.
And then something truly extraordinary happened.
This is the Luz Long part, isn't it?
This is the Luz Long part. Luz Long was the German long jumper. Tall, blonde, the perfect Aryan athlete in the eyes of the Nazis. The home favorite, expected to win.
It's his biggest rival.
Exactly. And what does he do? He walks over to Jesse.
What? In that moment.
Right then, instead of trying to psych him out, he offers advice. He noticed Jesse was taking off from behind the board, playing it too safe maybe, and fouling because his mark was off.
So he helped him, his competitor.
He did. He suggested Jesse make a mark in the lane about half a foot before the takeoff board and aim to jump from there, to give himself some room for error.
That's incredible sportsmanship.
It really is. Jesse was surprised, obviously, but Luz seemed totally genuine. He apparently even joked like, let's both qualify. Yeah, let's both fly.
Oh, just wow.
So Jesse took his advice, he adjusted his mark, ran down the runway, and soared.
And the jump was good.
It was perfect. He flew through the air, landed way out there, 26 feet, 5 and 516 inches, easily qualifying, and eventually winning his second gold medal with that distance or close to it in the final.
Amazing. And what about Luz Long?
This is the best part. The very first person to run up and congratulate Jesse, Luz Long. He threw his arm around Jesse, huge smile on his face, clapping.
Yeah.
Right there in front of everyone.
In front of the Nazi officials.
Yeah, in front of Hitler and the whole regime watching. They were apparently scowling, furious. But Luz didn't care. He hugged Jesse.
That image, a Black American and a German athlete embracing in Nazi Germany, it's so powerful.
It totally transcends sports, doesn't it? It's about human connection, respect, decency, trumping all that hate.
Did they become friends after that?
They did. A real friendship blossomed. They started chatting secretly between events, sort of away from the officials. Luz even shared some of his food with Jesse, apparently bread, which was probably rationed.
That's lovely. And Luz still competed well, right?
Well, yeah, he was a great athlete. He won the silver medal in the long jump right behind Jesse, and he was genuinely happy for Jesse, cheering him on loudly at his other events.
And Jesse wasn't done winning golds, was he?
Not by a long shot. He went on to win the 200-meter race, and he was part of the winning 4x100-meter relay team.
So 4 gold medals in total.
4 gold medals at 1 Olympics. A historic, unbelievable achievement. It completely shattered the Nazi myths of racial superiority on their own turf.
And the friendship with Luz lasted.
It did, though tragically cut short by the war. But Luz wrote to Jesse later, even as war was breaking out, and said something incredibly moving.
What was it?
He wrote, "You're my brother. Despite everything happening politically, that bond remained."
You're my brother. Wow, that hits hard.
It really does. And it's crucial to remember, even after all that Olympic glory, Jesse came back home to the U.S.
And things weren't suddenly perfect for him.
Far from it. He still faced racism, discrimination. He didn't get the hero's welcome or the big endorsement deals that a white athlete might have expected back then. It's a sad part of the story.
Yeah, that's tough to hear. But his legacy, his actions, and that friendship, they still inspire.
Absolutely. He kept inspiring people throughout his life. And that story, overcoming so much hate and doubt through sheer perseverance, talent, and that incredible moment of kindness with Luz, it's timeless.
So wrapping up the main story, the key message feels like it's about never giving up, facing down negativity, and the power of connection, right? Like Jesse said, find that fire inside.
Exactly. Run, share, soar. That was his message. Run towards your dreams, share kindness, and soar above the negativity.
Such great advice. Okay, so let's pivot a bit. For everyone listening, especially if you're around that 11, 12, 13 age group, what can we really take away from Jesse's story for our own lives?
Oh, so much. First, resilience, right? Think about Jesse's early life poverty, being sick, facing racism constantly. He kept going. That's resilience, bouncing back from tough stuff.
Definitely. And courage. Standing up in that Berlin stadium, that took guts. Facing down doubt, facing a hostile crowd, that's real courage. Believing in yourself when others don't.
And plain old hard work. Those medals didn't just happen. Years and years of training, pushing himself day in, day out. Goals need effort.
Can't forget that. And Luz Long, sportsmanship. That's huge.
Absolutely huge. Helping a competitor, showing respect, building a friendship through competition, not just against it. That's the spirit we should all aim for.
Okay, so how does this connect to, everyday life for a kid today?
Well, think about it. Maybe you lost a game in PE or didn't do as well as you hoped on a team. Remember Jesse losing races sometimes. Remember Luz giving that tip. It's about picking yourself up, practicing, but also maybe offering a teammate some encouragement.
Yeah, instead of getting down on them.
Exactly. Or maybe you felt left out or someone's teased you. It might not be the same as the racism Jesse faced, but that feeling of being targeted. His story shows you can persevere. Let your own light shine, and maybe you can be the one to include someone who looks lonely.
Be the Luz Long in that situation.
Kind of, yeah. And schoolwork. Sometimes it feels impossible, right? Like Jesse's difficult circumstances. But his focus shows that breaking it down, putting in steady effort each day, it works. Maybe you could even share study tips with a friend, help each other out.
Like Luz sharing the jumping tip, but for math.
Precisely. And competing with friends in video games, sports, whatever. It's fun to win, sure. But remember, Jesse and Luz, play fair, try your best, but support each other too. Shake hands, say good game, mean it.
So it's about taking these big ideas, resilience, courage, hard work, sportsmanship, and finding small ways to practice them daily.
That's the key. Daily practice. Maybe try tackling one thing you find difficult homework, a chore, practicing an instrument for just, say, 15 minutes today. Focus hard and celebrate that you did it. That builds resilience.
Okay, small steps. I like that. What about courage?
Maybe face a tiny fear. Speak up in class if you're usually quiet. Try a new food, just a little step outside your comfort zone. And use that positive self-talk Jesse must have used. I can do this.
Right. And hard work.
Pick one skill you want to improve. Just one. Practice it a little bit every day. Keep track. Seeing progress fuels motivation.
And sportsmanship or kindness.
Look for one chance today to help someone out. Hold a door. Offer a genuine compliment. Encourage someone who seems down. Small acts add up.
It all comes back to that idea. One, share, soar.
Exactly. Find your own spark, that thing you're passionate about. Run towards your goals with everything you've got. Share your kindness, your support, your encouragement.
And soar. Believe you can rise above challenges, above negativity, above limitations people might try to put on you.
You absolutely can. Every single one of you listening has that potential.
That's a powerful thought to end on. Find your spark, work hard, be kind, and believe you can soar. Thanks for this amazing deep dive today.
My pleasure. It's an important story to keep telling.
Totally agree. All right, everyone, keep that fire burning. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.